If you're looking for an entry-level device from Samsung or Tecno, these two phones will definitely pique your interest. In today's video, we're going to be comparing the Samsung Galaxy A14 and the new Tecno Spark 20. First, let's talk about the prices. The Samsung Galaxy A14 ranges from 1,500 to 1,700 Ghana cedis depending on the variant that you go for, while the Tecno Spark 20 ranges from 1,200 to 1,700, also depending on the variant you go for. So at an almost similar price, what sets these two devices apart? That's what we are going to break down in today's video. First, let's talk about the design. Both have a plastic back and frame, a feature really common in devices in this price category. Plastic is durable, so that is not a problem. You won't be worried about anything like drops in case you drop it on the back. The Samsung Galaxy A14 looks like its flagship brothers because these are how the Samsung Galaxy S20 series look like. That is actually a plus for the Samsung because if you're holding one of these, somebody can actually confuse this for any of the flagship devices. The Spark 20 on the other hand looks like an iPhone. It kind of looks good, but I feel like they're deceiving people because of the third ring, which people normally confuse as a camera. But that is just a flashlight. Don't be deceived. On the right side of both devices, you can find the volume rocker and the power button, which also doubles as a fingerprint sensor. For the fingerprint sensors, they are both accurate, but when it comes to speed, the Tecno is faster compared to the A14. They both have a Type-C charger at the bottom, a headphone jack, and a speaker grill. The speaker system on the Tecno is a dual speaker system that is one at the top and one at the bottom, which is really cool for my gamers and people who like consuming content on their devices. On the side of both devices, we have a dual SIM card tray and a dedicated memory card slot. At the back, the A14 has a triple camera setup, while the Spark 20 has what looks like a triple camera setup but actually two cameras with a flashlight. So when it comes to design, I think both of these are actually very durable. Plastic is good, so if you drop it on the back, you should be fine. And the Samsung, like I said, looks like its flagship brother, so people are actually going to like that. This looks like an iPhone. I'm not really happy about that, but people like it, so that's good. But one way the Samsung shines over the Tecno is this is IP53 dust and water resistant. So when it comes to splashes, accidentally dropping this in water or anything like that, this is going to survive, but this might not. We don't officially have any kind of IPS rating for this, so when it comes to water splashes, anything like that, I think the Samsung wins that one. So I throw it to you, which one do you prefer when it comes to design and build of both of these devices? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, let's talk about the screens. Both are IPS LCD displays. The Tecno has a 90Hz, while the Samsung has a 60Hz, but if you find yourself getting the 5G variant, you can actually get the 90Hz variant, which is really cool. Both have a 6.6 inches display. The Samsung looks very old. The dewdrop and all, the bezels are really huge. But from my experience, these things are stuff that only techies normally worry about. Regular users, which are more than the techies, don't really care about bezels and the dewdrop and the camera and all those kind of stuff. They just want their screen to work, and it works. The good part about this screen is that this is actually a 1080p panel, so you can actually watch your YouTube content in 1080p resolution, which I really like. The Tecno, on the other hand, has a 720p display, which in comparison to the Samsung, it's actually lower. But when it comes to regular day usage, they both actually look good. And one other thing that I noticed about the Samsung is that it has this haloing effect around the edges. That is, the edges of the screen kind of looks dark. This actually looks like a cheap display on the edges because of the haloing effect that you get around the edges, and I don't really appreciate that. The colors on both devices are actually nice. Like I said, they are both IPS displays, so they're a little bit brighter, but not the brightest under direct sunlight. And also, when it comes to the screen on both devices, the black on the Tecno is more saturated in comparison to what we have on the Samsung. Both colors are great, but it's more deeper and richer on the Tecno devices. And overall, the Tecno's display looks a little bit modern because of the poncho camera. The bezels are minimal in compared to this one. So when it comes to the display, I think I'm going to give it to the Tecno. Yes, this is 1080p, but this actually looks really good. A lot of people are going to choose this over this. But for the techies, I'm going to choose the 1080p over the 720. So let me know which one you're going to go for. But in general, this actually looks like a device from 2023 or maybe even 2024. So I'm going to give it to this one when it comes to the screen. Just make it a 1080p Tecno that is actually going to benefit. And also the 90Hz makes this really fast in comparison to what we have on the Samsung A14. When it comes to performance, both have a 12nm chipset and all have Android 13. You have One UI Core 5 on the Samsung and iOS version 13 on the Tecno. The Tecno has a MediaTek Helio G85. I have the 512GB of storage variant and 8GB of RAM variant on the Tecno and the 64 and 4GB of RAM on the Samsung. Here are the Geekbench scores. Animations are generally faster on the Tecno, probably due to the 90Hz display and the faster chipsets found on here. App openings and closing, this can literally be seen in everyday usage. On the Samsung, we're able to play PUBG at HD high settings and Call of Duty at medium high frame rates on the Samsung. For the Tecno device, we're able to play PUBG at medium graphics at high frame rates. And for performance, like I said, I'm going to give it to the Tecno. Even when it comes to gameplay, the lags that you experience on here is very minimal in compared to what we have on the Samsung Galaxy A14. And in everyday usage, this is faster. App openings and all animations on this device is generally faster in comparison to what we have on the Samsung Galaxy A14. So in general, performance, gameplay, everyday usage, animation, and the likes, raw power, I'm going to give it to the Tecno Spark 20. They both have a 5000 mAh battery. The Tecno supports 18 watts of fast charging, while the Samsung only supports 15 watts of fast charging. They both take about 2 hours to fully charge, and depending on use case scenario, these devices can easily take you throughout the day. So battery life, depending on your usage, you won't be complaining so much when it comes to battery life on any of these devices. Now let's talk about the cameras. Tecno has a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and is able to shoot videos in 2K 30 FPS. While the Samsung has a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 2 megapixel macro, a 30 megapixel selfie camera, and is able to take videos in 1080 30 FPS. For the pictures, as you can see, the Samsung genuinely looks better, and the fact that it has a wide angle camera is a plus for it. You can see the colors are normally warmer on the Tecno, but a little bit true to life on the Samsung device. And this is what the video footage looks like on the Samsung and the Tecno. Samsung is of course shooting at Full HD 30 FPS and the Tecno is shooting at 2K 30 FPS. Let's run a little and see how the footage looks like. A little jog, that's how the footage looks like. So that is what you should expect when it comes to stabilization on both cameras. Also, let's check out the clouds to see if anything is overblown. That's how it looks like. One other thing that I appreciate from the cameras is that due to the third camera, as you can see, the Samsung has a wider angle of view, which means you can have a lot more in your shots. You see, a wider angle of view on the Samsung, but that of the Tecno doesn't have any wide angle camera. That is something I don't like at all. The reason why, I kind of prefer the wide angle camera on the Samsung. Selfie video, this is what to expect. I'm shooting under direct sunlight. We'll also walk into the shade so you see what to get from both cameras. Samsung is shooting at Full HD 30 FPS, while the Tecno is shooting at 2K 30 FPS. This is what you're going to get. What do you think about the skin tones, the microphones, and all? From actually the front selfie camera, you can see the Tecno has a wider field of view, but from the viewfinder, it kind of looks like the colors are a little bit oversaturated when it comes to the skin tones. But what I'm seeing on the Samsung seems to be a little better. The colors are not too saturated. So this is what we get from the selfie camera as well. Let me know your choice in the comment section down below. A little more footage. Let's jog a little bit. See what we have when it comes to stabilization. This is what you're going to get in direct sunlight. Which of these cameras do you prefer? So when it comes to the cameras, I'm actually going to give it to the Samsung device. I really like the fact that they came with the wide angle camera on this. It lets you capture more in the frame, so I really liked it. And also the skin tones on this look natural. It's not oversaturated. I really like that. This is a little bit oversaturated, and they don't have a wide angle camera on here, so I'm actually going to give it to the Samsung when it comes to the cameras. So all in all, what do I think about both of these devices? They are all very good depending on what you prioritize in your devices. You can actually pick one of these for yourself. What do you prioritize the most? And when it comes to looks, they both look cool. For the screen too, this is 90 Hz. It looks a little bit modern, so good. For the cameras, I'm going to give it to the Samsung because the cameras on here are really cool. Depending on the OS that you prefer, I know this is going to give me more updates in comparison to this. So when it comes to the OS, I wish it was a little bit faster. It's slow when it comes to the animations and all. Battery life, they are both good. In general, they are all in the same price category. So which one do you prefer? Let me know which one you think won this comparison in the comment section down below. And if you want to purchase any of these devices, I'm going to leave a number in the description. You can call them and get any of these to purchase. They have really amazing good prices. Check them out in the comment section down below. And as usual, stay liquid, and I'll see you in my next upload. Peace. I'm out.